Ang umaga, mayad nga agahon. Coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I have my morning cup of coffee here in my coffee with Gino cup. My Copico Blanca. My Copico Blanca is my choice of a 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. Let me just double check if I'm live. I gotta make sure. Looks like I am. Looks like I am. Hold on. Let me, there it is. There it is. All right. Okay, looks like I'm good. Looks like I'm good. All right. I always start with the weather here in Numancia, Aklan. On the AccuWeather forecast, there's an ad right here. It says today the current temperature is 23 degrees Celsius. Feels like 25. Actually feels a little cool this morning. It's not warm. Usually even this early in the morning it gets warm already. Today it says a couple of showers in the morning, otherwise mostly cloudy. I was looking, I went to Westpacs. Westpacs is like a YouTuber, American YouTuber. He regarding weather. They've been predicting there's looks like a low pressure area. Not going to be a typhoon. It's not going to be a typhoon. They've been talking about it for almost a week now. They're expecting it to enter the Philippine area of responsibility. Right now, it's like southeast of Mindanao is where it's at. I can see it on the Windy app. It's kind of like circulating. But right now, it's not even a storm. All it is a low pressure area is what they're calling it. Let me go to the Pag-asa. The Pag-asa website here in the Philippines, Pag-asa is the official weather people here, government agency in the Philippines. Kind of like the Weather Channel here in the Philippines. And northeast monsoon, that's the amihan season. We're still in the amihan season. Easterly winds from the Pacific Ocean and a shear line, causing rain throughout the country pretty much. From Cagayan, Aurora, that's northern Luzon, Davao region, Ilocos region, Metro Manila, and the rest of the country. It says partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. It's actually causing floods, flash floods, landslides, different areas of the Philippines. We had to go through that yesterday. Yesterday, we had some flooding here in Aklan by Banga area, also by Balete area, where James and Karen's Adventures, that's where they live in Balete. I actually was watching earlier, they're on their way home from Leyte. They're on a ferry, they're actually doing a live stream. But I scheduled this live stream already, so I went ahead and, usually we try not to do live stream at the same time, but I started scheduling. Unfortunately, I started scheduling that's why before I was kind of freestyling it, not scheduling live stream. But it is what it is. It's no big deal. I know James doesn't mind. I don't mind. Like if we do, I never worry about other people. There is no time on YouTube. We're just like we go on live, we go live. It's like you can't worry about other people. And James and I, we're really good friends, so it's not like we're like running into like our time on YouTube or anything like that. Yo Tim, yo my good friend, my brother in Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Derek, aloha brother, aloha Derek. Good morning, good morning, Michael C. from Trece Martires in Cavite. Daniel, hey Daniel, howdy Daniel, my brother in Jacksonville, Florida. All right, looks like everybody's getting online live stream. I appreciate your time as always. Thank you for supporting the live streams. I wasn't even gonna do a live stream today. I had planned on doing an errand this morning, but I didn't need to. I didn't need to do the errand. So, and now the sun looks like it's coming up. It hasn't rained here now for close to 24 hours. That's the first time, like the last since New Year's, that it hasn't rained this long, like 24-hour period. So maybe the sun is finally, sunshine is finally here for Atiatihan, because Atiatihan really kicked off. Yesterday, they had the competition, the Balikpati at Pastrana Park. Thousands of people were at Pastrana Park. It's the more native groups, like they're all dressed up in the ati. Ati in the Philippines is kind of like the Filipino Aborigines. So they imitate the ati. They charcoal their whole body. They wear grass. It's just a native. The native people, they try to imitate the native people, and even some of their drums are like made of bamboo. So they had that competition last time. I think there was like 15 groups that competed. They compete for prizes. The prizes on some of these competition, like I think yesterday, 50,000 pesos. It's not the big event yet, but the big competition, that's going to be probably Friday, Saturday. That's when you see all the colorful dresses, big head dresses and all that. Big band, everything, everybody, even the band has uniforms. Because the first place for the best Atiatihan group, the first place is like 1.1 million pesos. $20,000, man. That's a lot of money, man, for these groups. If you can imagine, here in the Philippines, that's a lot of money. Anything you say $1 million pesos is the price, and then second place, third place have prizes. So that's why they go all out. They create new beats, they create new songs, they create new dances, new uniform, different categories. That's what makes Atiatihan so much fun, and I'm gonna be filming as much as I can. Big crowds in Calibo. Traffic is like horrendous in Calibo. Actually, when I go there, I'm gonna go there today, and when I go there today, I'm gonna ride public transportation. It's just impossible, even on my tricycle Bumblebee, to find parking. There's just so many people in Calibo right now. Traffic is crazy. If I'm riding my tricycle, I might get stuck in traffic, get detoured. I don't know where I'll end up. I'll end up walking anyway, wherever I find parking. And then, I would leave Bumblebee somewhere in Calibo. Just fun. It's fun time though. Fun time in Calibo. And I'm going to be headed there in Calibo. I'm going to meet JP again because I wanted this JP to experience it. I want him to see all the fun stuff at the Atiatihan. Today at 1 p.m. Is the the universities and college of Calibo, in Calibo. They're gonna join at the Atiatihan parade, in a parade. So my college, STI College Calibo, they're gonna be there. Hundreds of current students, former employees, whatever. It's almost kind of like a reunion for me, because I know when I join the parade for STI College Calibo, I'm gonna see people there that maybe I haven't seen in years. People had moved out of Aklan or moved out of Calibo. They come home here, and that's what a lot of Atiatihan is. It's a festival. It's a fiesta on Sunday. But it's a reunion for a lot of people during Atiatihan. Different clans. When I say clan, these families here in Aklan province, big families like Kimpo family, Pastrana family, Abencula family. I mean, just a lot of clans here that it's a big reunion. They even wore their t-shirts, colorful t-shirts with the Atiatihan. It'll say in the back, it'll say their last name, Kimpo clan. And there'll be like hundreds of them. There'll be hundreds joining the parade. It's just a fun time, very fun. That's why I'm gonna head there today at 1. I'm gonna take JP with me. We'll see if we can join some of the STI College Calibo Sadsad is what it's called. marching or dancing on the street, drinking on the streets. I'm not going to be drinking. I don't drink alcohol. But they'll also, at 3, my friend, they own the Cipriano building, and their whole building will join Sad at 3. So we'll join that too. So at least JP will experience at least 2 groups of like Sad. So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to this afternoon. Joe, hey Daniel, Joe, good morning, Joe. Daniel should be arriving soon, right? Yes, Daniel is March 1st. March 1st is when he flies out. So, we're like almost in the middle of January now. So he's got what's left of January and then February. Gino, heard anything about the new huge Amazon warehouse? I haven't heard about that. I'll do research. If you hear anything about that, Daniel, send me the link. That would be. I'm sure it makes sense to me to have an Amazon warehouse here in the Philippines with all the Amazon orders that everybody's getting now. It just makes sense, why ship it all the way? Why not have a big warehouse here, kind of like a SNR, but Amazon on it? That'd be kind of cool, man. Magandang umaga, Kuya. Hey, Olson, Aliyah, my good buddy Isaiah. Hello. Daniel and the rest of the Panay posse. And I think yesterday I got a text message, and JP had a Panay Posse shirt made with a design that my friend in Texas, Alan, had made. So he ordered a yellow shirt with a Panay Posse logo. It looks like a badge. It looks like but nice design. Let me see if I have the design. But he had the shirt made, and it's ready for pickup. I don't know if JP picked it up yesterday or we'll pick it up today when I see JP. I know I saved it here somewhere. Right here is the logo. That's the Panay Posse logo right there. It looks kind of like a badge. It's got the Philippine and then Panay Posse in there. So JP had one made, a t-shirt made. I think that the t-shirt itself cost like 270 pesos, so about $5 for the t-shirt, and then the logo, to print the logo, it was like 50. So $6 all total for the shirt. So we'll see. We haven't really come up with like the final shirt or final design. So when everybody agrees with the shirt, I'll just start making sure everybody gets a t-shirt. You guys will have to get Panay. Yeah, there you go. Perfect timing, Tim. The Panay Posse t-shirt. I had one with the map of Panay Island, but I kind of like this one that Alan designed. I think because JP has been calling Dazzle the sheriff, sheriff of the posse, and now Dazzle even has a badge. Right there. Dazzle got a sheriff badge. Joe had gotten this badge, shipped it here. Amazon Prime got this badge for Dazzle. So Dazzle is the sheriff. So, and we're trying to come up maybe Dazzle's the sheriff, and then JP suggested founding member, right? Founding member, who the founding members are of the Panay Posse. So We'll get that going. Especially with Daniel coming in here. Edgar's here, JP's here, then Daniel gets here. So Ruben will be back after the festival. So Daniel, is that the one in Laguna Techno Park? It would make sense if it would be in Laguna Techno Park, because I know there's a lot of American companies there at Laguna Techno Park. I've heard about that, Joe. 50 days in the wake up. All right, 50 days in the wake up. That's so awesome, man. Good Tuesday morning, Gino. Hey, Lucita, my good friend in Maine. Have you visited Garin Farm? No, I haven't. I haven't visited Garin Farm. I know in Garin Farm, the reason I haven't visited, I'm trying to get in good shape And I know at Garen Farm, you have to climb all those stairs, all those steps, So I'm trying to, I'm walking an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon. So I think I'm up to it now. I was still recovering for the longest time, Lucita. After my radiation treatments, my chemo treatments, I just didn't have the endurance. I lost all my endurance. I used to be a runner, cyclist, you name it. Now, it's like even if I walk like 30 minutes or so, I get winded. I get tired easy. Just like I go from walking good to like zero energy, and I lose all my energy. So I've been building up, and this year was going to be big for me. I knew all of 2025, I'm trying to get in the best shape. I was in the gym. I'm doing push-ups. I'm walking. So I think 2026, I'm going to be able to do more. But I'm still careful because I'm immunocompromised now. So I can't afford to catch anything. Even a simple cold, I can't afford to catch. If I get a simple cold, I'm knocked out for several days, and it's hard for me to recover. So I'm careful. I even wear a mask if I'm in a crowd. Like today, I always have a mask on my fanny pack. If I go to Calibo during the festival, I'll be wearing a mask or staying away from people. I got my alcohol. It's just I just gotta be careful because I'm pretty healthy now. But I know I'm only one illness from like all the hard work I've been doing. It can be wiped out if I get sick. But I have seen it. I've seen videos of it. I've seen pictures of Garden Park. Beautiful. It's amazing place. It will be on our bucket list. Yeah, and it's in Iloilo, so I go to Iloilo often enough. I really wanted to see that also. JP can be Dazzle's deputy if he is willing to come out of retirement. That's what we were trying to figure out, whether since Dazzle's the sheriff, the rest of us would be like deputies, or we can, another idea was like founding member. Like we were gonna get the Panay Posse logo with, and then like put founding member, and then Dazzle would have sheriff. That's what we were thinking. Very cool posse shirt with the Panay Island map would be awesome. That's the one I had. That's why we haven't really decided. I think after that shirt, I'll make it a vote. It's like when you guys are all here, we can vote. I mean, we can always change the design and always can come up with it and then decide as a group what's the best design for our t-shirt. I agree. The map of Panay Island would be a good pick for the logo. All right. See, he's got a vote. Maybe I'll post the choices on YouTube and people vote on it, which ones they prefer, and we'll go with the winner. That way, everybody gets to vote on their choice. Not sure of the warehouse. Oh, no worries. We'll figure that out. Now that you mention it, I'll start researching. And Daniel regarding the location of the Amazon. I'm sure they're gonna announce that here. Same thing when they open the IKEA. Things like the SNR landers. That news comes out fast here. We'll get that information for sure. All right, I'm gonna hit my topic now. Let me find my notes here, because I always try to do a topic. That way we have a topic of discussion. I gotta be careful today because I hooked up my internet to the Blue Yeti, but the wires on the connection, if I nudge it or something, I'll lose you guys. But right now we have electricity, but I went ahead and hooked it to the Blue Yeti because yesterday we had that power outage, and I don't want that to happen again. So from now on, I'll just connect just to make sure that we don't lose any connection. Let me see. I can read the comments here on the laptop, and I can read it here. That way I don't miss any comments. Hello, Joe JP at Kumon. All right, at Kumon. Oh, you're at Kumon. You're at Kumon right now. All right, Tim. All right. All right. So I thought about this topic yesterday actually. It's my topic, and I posted it. It says, Philippines not for the weak. Not for the weak. And I just thought about that, because I see so many posts on the different expat groups, people complaining about the Philippines. You're not gonna run out of that. That's just a constant thing here in the Philippines. AP's probably out. Yes, actually, he had mentioned that yesterday that he was gonna cruise on Blue Arrow today, because I had said on the live stream yesterday that let me close the door. It's getting sunny. It's getting nice and sunny. I said that I wasn't gonna do a live stream, so he told me yesterday that he was gonna go be on Blue Arrow this morning and head out of Calibo just to ride on Blue Arrow. So. He's out there. He's cruising. He's cruising, man. JP's cruising on Blue Arrow. But I'll see him at 1 p.m. We already agreed he was gonna find me at Pastrana Park, where all the activities are in front of the cathedral by the Calibo sign. That's where our meeting place at 1 o'clock. That way I can introduce him to more people. I can introduce him to more people that I know here. When we went to the car show, there were guys there that friends of mine that hang out at the Junkster Cafe in New Washington. For guys from Nevada, guys from California. So JP's meeting people here. So he's having friends here now. So I'm sure he might. It won't surprise me. One day he's telling me I'm riding with this group of motorcycles. It's only a matter of time. I know that's gonna happen because most of the guys here have motorbikes also. J-Boy, good morning, Kuya Gino. Good morning, J-Boy. Good morning. Hello, BIH. Renz, good day and happy fiesta. Happy fiesta, man. It's going to be awesome, man. I also invited JP to Sunday. I've already been invited to 2 houses. Sunday's kind of like the end of the festival. And what Sunday is like usually lunchtime, dinner time. People open their doors to their house and invite as many people as they can to feed them. Lechon, roast pig, whole pig. I've already been invited to 2 houses, so I told JP I'll take him with me. That way he can experience fiesta and see what it's all about. So he'll get to eat lechon for sure. Whole pig. I can even get the cleaver and start getting some of that lechon for JP. So I just want JP to have the full experience here in Calibo. Shekel, are y'all gonna go to Festive Zone today? I will be a Shekel fan. I'll be at Pastrana Park. I'm gonna join a little bit of the STI College. They're gonna be in the parade today at 1. So I always see people that I know there, my professors, former students, my batch. I'm STI College graduate 2016, so I'm sure my batch will be there. So it's gonna be very festive. And then at 3 o'clock, I'm gonna join the Cipriano building at Sadsad because they're friends of mine, the owners of Cipriano building. I'm gonna take JP with that, so it should be a fun. After this live stream, I'm gonna rest up. I'm gonna rest up because that's a lot of activity for me today, for sure. A lot of walking, dancing in the streets, singing to like the beats of Atiatihan. And hello from the UK. All right, BIH. All right. JP is getting serious about finding a short bus girl on his new bike. All right, Daniel. Good morning, OB. Tim, new guys arriving should get themselves at least 60 days to adjust to the water and food. Yes. Actually, that's included. That's included on my topic this morning. Thank you, Tim. Very much so. 60. I think I touched on it a little, with JP because he had gotten stomach issue the other day because that's common. It's hard not to get that, when you come here to the Philippines. Even I suffered through that. When I arrived in 2011 Boracay, I actually had to go to the doctor, got prescribed antibiotics because I was having cramps, stomach cramps, and I've never had that. I can't remember having that much like pain or that much cramps before, but it happens. It could be the food, it could be the water. A lot of people say it's more likely the water, or the ice. Be careful. I drank all bottled water when I got here, the ones you buy at the 7-Eleven, but ice also. And I thought I've stayed away from all that, but it's hard not to suffer that. That's why the other day I said, bring medication with you that you're used to taking. Like if you're taking Pepto-Bismol over the counter or Tums or stuff like, bring that with you. Yeah, things that will help you because you might not find that here. Even in Aklan. I have not seen Pepto-Bismol, and I know they have their own version here, like I think Malox, or other brands. But you want to bring the brands that you're used to because you might not be used to like the dosage or the name brand they have here. JP is enjoying his single life as long as it lasts. There is an expiration date, hey man. I have to agree with that. Joe. It's like. Enjoy the single life, enjoy the freedom, right? It's like I know I did. When I got here, when I went to Boracay, it's like I didn't date anybody in Boracay my first year there because I was just meeting so many people. I knew that if I start dating here in the Philippines, the minute you date a Filipina, it goes fast. They think that your boyfriend, girlfriend, everything goes fast here. People will assume that even if you just take them out to like lunch or a movie or something, next thing you know, you're a couple. So I knew that. So I was very careful not to give that impression that I wanted a girlfriend. J-Boy, I thought there was no coffee with Gene. I know, J-Boy. My bad, J-Boy. I wasn't because I was going to do an errand, but I did schedule it like yesterday afternoon. I did schedule this topic that I'm going to hit here. The Philippines is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. Not the same without Gene. Oh, thank you. Glad you're streaming. Thank you, J-Boy. Appreciate it. Appreciate that, J-Boy. Thank you for the support again. OB, hello, Daniel. 50 days. Wow, so exciting. I know, right? Well, 193 is not far behind, brother. OB, L. Olson, that's not far behind. That will go by fast, and you'll be amazed how fast that will go. And I'm sure Daniel can't believe it's down to like 50 days. 50 days, man. That's like, I have at least 6 months, most likely. It'll go by fast. Trust me, Joe. Once you make that, you're already there. For me, Joe, you're already there because you've already committed. You've already said, you're headed here. It's just a matter of like loose ends, taking care of business in the United States. The biggest thing is making that move. It's like deciding in your head. Like for me, a year before, 2010, I did a recon here in the Philippines. And when I came back from that 3-week vacation, I knew already. And that year just flew by because I started like itemizing what I had to get done, selling the house, selling cars, getting rid of all my junk, it's like, so I knew, it'll go by fast. Trust me. If you're already thinking of coming here to the Philippines in 2026, before you know it, it'll be like the Burr months already, and it's already Christmas again. Phil, all right, Phil McLeod, Clark or Subic are the list of good location to build Amazon. Yeah, it makes sense, Phil, because of that economic zone, Clark economic zone, same thing in Subic's got the economic zone. It's saves companies in taxes, and also both places have airports. Subic has a port, so ideal, very ideal for like an Amazon warehouse. You are correct. I would put it right at Subic or Clark because it's such a big area, open space, at Clark. Have a great day, guys. All right, Paul. Thank you for stopping by, Paul. Appreciate you, my friend. Paul is in Iloilo City. He's living in Iloilo City now. Jason Potter. Hi, Gino. Thank you, brother. I know, Jason, man. You're such a nice guy, man. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Emilio, good morning, Gino and the fam. We all enjoy our daily, and that's why I keep doing it, Daniel. I know people are, like the live stream early at morning here. This is kind of like, Dazzle's still asleep, so I can do this morning live stream. So I'll keep doing it. Hey, James, hey, good morning, James and Karen. I saw it earlier. I had to like cut in and start my live stream. James, I saw that you're at. Typed in a little message on your live stream that you're in a boat back, man. Safe travels, James. Beautiful weather, man. Look at the sunshine. It's sunny, man. You are bringing the sunshine, James, back to Aklan, man. It didn't rain after all the flooding yesterday, even that early morning in Balete. Yesterday morning, it did not rain from yesterday morning till now. The rain has completely stopped. Right now, look at that sun. The sun is just like beaming, man. So it looks like you're bringing the sunshine back to Aklan province, James. Then J&K. But safe travels for you and Karen. Man. I know it's that's riding the motorbike, ferry. I mean that's tiring. That's tiring. Pace yourself, man. That's a lot of traveling on the ferries. Lowell, kamusta? Mabuti ako, Lowell. Salamat kapatid. Mabuhay. God bless, my brother. Charlie Latz, hey Charlie, my good friend in Boston. J-Boy, good morning, J&K. Joe, hey James, nice Leyte vids. I know, man. It's like, I've never been to Leyte, and it's like, I'm traveling Leyte through James and Karen's videos, and the Booga Booga Memorial. I've never heard of Booga Booga Memorial, the Japanese memorial there. Just like amazing. I would love one day to make it to Leyte for sure. Hello, James and Karen from Olson. Hey, Fortune, good morning, Fortune. Good AM, Derek, Michael C, and Daniel. Fortune is here, our master Yoda, man. God bless, Fortune from Lowell. Emilio, it's Boracay. I know, man. Man, this is like amazing. I'm so happy for the people in Boracay, because Boracay had their Atiatihan this past weekend, the 10th and 11th. So they're done with their Atiatihan, but now with the beautiful weather, man, it'll be like awesome in Boracay right now. Good day, Fortune from OB. Good day, Kuya Fortune. Hey, Far East, my good friend Rick from Jacksonville, Florida. Greetings, brother. Remember, I told you I'm bringing the sunshine. I know, right? I know. You're in Manila, all right. Rick's from Jacksonville, Florida. He's retired Air Force like me. Aim high, brother. And he's in Manila right now. He's headed here to Calibo for Atiatihan. So in a couple of days here, me and Rick will be dancing in the streets of Calibo with Atiatihan. And can't wait to see you, brother. Can't wait to see you. We're gonna have a good time. Here in Calibo. Joe, hi Fortune. 1 week before Maggie is back. Oh yeah, that's right, Maggie. I think it was like January 19th was her first day back to school. Please like and subscribe, Jason. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much, Jason. Fortune, good AM. Joe, OB, Jason, Emilio, Karen, James, Lowell, and Charlie. Morning. All right. Everybody saying good morning. That's awesome. Being Calibo tonight. All right, man. Get some rest. I know that's a long travel, man, from Florida to like Calibo, man. Get some rest. Then just send me a text when you're ready to meet up. My Rick. I haven't seen Rick. He didn't make it to Atiatihan 2025, but I met Rick in Atiatihan 2024. So now he's back for Atiatihan 2026. Can't wait to meet with you, brother. Daniel Ford. Yes, Joe, bringing her to condo on the 19th. She will be riding with me to the office. Treat her to lunch. Bring her to HS. She will judge. Oh, nice. A contest at the high school. All right. Got invited. You're gonna move like Jagger. Yeah, I'm gonna move like Jagger. Yeah, Atiatihan. It's hard not to, man. Because like when they start doing the drum, everybody's like dancing, everybody's just having, it's hard not to like get into the flow of things and enjoy Atiatihan. What's the activities now in Atiatihan? Well, today this yesterday they had the balikpati, the older style bamboo drums, dancing and all that. Today at 1 o'clock is the it's all the students, all the colleges and universities in Calibo it's a student parade, I guess. Will be doing the parades, and they'll all have ati-atihan bands with them. At 3 o'clock, I'm gonna do sad with the group, the Cipriano building. All these companies, all these places in Calibo, businesses, 7-Eleven, McDonald's, Jollibee, you name it. If you own a business, usually they'll join the parade with their own band, with their own employees. Everybody dress up in t-shirts and just join the sadsad or the parades. Also like clans, different clans. The clans, they're kind of like big families, big political families here in Aklan. The Kimpo, even like the Terol, the Gelito, all the big families here in Aklan, they join the parades. It's just a big celebration. It's like chaos now in Calibo. The traffic like is insane in Calibo. I'll just have to like maybe ride a public transportation to the bridge, and then from the bridge cross the bridge, walking on the bridge, and then get to the parade grounds. There's just so many people in Calibo right now. Do the sadsad for sure, for sure. No classes today. Actually, Leanna told me yesterday that her school, she doesn't have school for the rest of the week. You know, it's just like that here, man. When ati-atihan kicks in, a lot of these schools they go, might as well cancel school. We're going to ati-atihan. We're going to ati-atihan, and so no school today for Leanna. No school for the rest of the week for Leanna. She don't have to go back till Monday. And a lot of times, even Monday next week, they'll say, well, ati-atihan was so tiring, let's cut their kids a break. They come back Tuesday. That will not surprise me either. Good AM, Gino and all. Thought you were gonna. Yeah, I was gonna take a break, Ted. I did say that yesterday, but my errand that I had to run, it got canceled. I did put a schedule yesterday on my YouTube that I was gonna do the live stream with this title. Let me get to it. Because like, man, I might never get to my title here. Good AM, Ted. Good AM, Ted. All right, let me let me do that. Man, I'm going too fast on the phone here. All right. But my topic today, Philippines, not for the weak. And I just titled it like that because, again, I see many comments all the time on Facebook. People that just like complain about different things here in the Philippines. There's a word here in the Philippines. It's the word is maarte. It's spelled M-A-A-R-T-E, maarte. Or sometimes arte. It says A-R-T-E. Very commonly used word here in the Philippines. And I'll translate it in English. And this is maarte, meaning in English. Maarte is a common insult in Tagalog, my native language. It means too picky, nitpicky, overly sensitive, or dramatic. It's like maarte. Usually directed towards women, females, and those who express femininity. It's often used against those who are misunderstood and different. That's like maarte. It could mean many things. Icky, snob, dramatic, pretentious, finicky, attention seeker. When I was growing up, I was a boy here in the Philippines in the 70s, you never wanted to be called maarte. Maybe the girls, it was okay to be maarte because there's the social status or something. But as a boy, a little boy growing up here, you don't want to be called a maarte. That's as a boy, you're ready to swing blows when they call you maarte. Because here in the Philippines, like growing up, right? And even now, I see it with Leanna, I see it with her classmates. People here, like let's say food, like they're eating food, like they're eating a hamburger or they're drinking a soft drinks from a plastic with a straw, right? It's common here to like, if a kid's like drinking, like I did it, if I'm drinking from a straw, and my friend says, hey, you want to drink? Okay, here you go. And he'll use the same straw. that's like common here. That's like it's not a big deal. There's even the drinking process here. People drinking alcohol here. When you go to a party here with Filipinos in there, there's this thing called tagay. Tagay is like you get shots of liquor or sometimes a glass of beer, right? A small glass of beer, they'll fill up the glass, and it's usually one glass for everybody drinking. I did it when I was in college here in Calibo with my classmates. They would be drinking and they would offer me a tagay, a glass of beer, and you got to chug it. You got to chug it. And that one glass is passed along to everybody. If there's 10 people drinking, 15 people drinking, that one glass gets passed. It's never washed. It's never, it's like, so you're taking a shot from the same glass. Probably not good thing during COVID, probably spreading germs. But you would be considered maarte if you're like, oh, I can't drink from that because it's dirty. It would not go well. You will be teased. You will be teased if you're maarte. I kind of had the same experiences when I was in the United States Air Force, when I was in the military in the United States. When we deploy, when we go training out in the field, we sleep in tents for a week at a time. You couldn't be maarte out in the field, right? We're drinking water from this container, this metal container that they call the water buffalo. They do test the water for contaminants and all that, but when you drink from that thing, when you fill your canteen, it's not the clearest water that I've seen, drinking from the water buffalo. So, I guess because to me, that's always just been normal, I guess, because growing up in the Philippines, I grew up like, if you go to like a karinderya here, even today, if you go to a karinderya, sometimes even mang inasal, sometimes even the rib shack, people while they're eating, they'll just eat with their hands. They'll eat rice with their hands. They'll eat vegetables with their hands. They'll pick fish, and everybody eats with their hands. I know, I've seen posts, they go like, they complain of, why can't Filipinos be civilized and use silverware? And, I've seen that. But here in the Philippines, those are just kind of the things. That's why if you're weak, if you're like soft in that regard, you might, you'll notice a lot of things here in the Philippines like that. Good AM, Master for Tagay. There you go, Tagay, Castaway. Good morning, Gino. Good morning, my brother from another, Michael in Dumaguete City. Good AM, Michael. Master Fortune. Bill Meyer, hey, prayers, Bill Meyer. Bon. That's LTV Live today. All right, good morning, Gino. All right, Colonel. I don't know where you are, Colonel. Are you headed back to Iloilo or staying at Belize? I don't know. I'll have to catch up on the videos. I find out where you guys are at through live streams and on the videos. So that's why I titled it Philippines Not for the Weak. Because a lot of things here, I know, especially if you've never traveled away from the United States, could really be like eye-opening. Right? That's why I mentioned yesterday, for military people, the United States military anyway, we've traveled all around the world. I was in the service for 20 years. So Philippines is not the only country that I've seen like this. In Korea, back in the 80s, Korea was like about the same thing. They're gotten modern now in Korea, but back in the 80s, Korea was like very rural, in Korea. Japan, although Japan is cleaner, everything in Japan is cleaner and nicer. But when you travel around the world, you'll just see things different, right? A lot of people, I think, when they make comments about the Philippines in a negative way, they just haven't been exposed to it, So they're quick to judge, They're quick to judge because it's not something they have experienced, And understandable. I'm not ragging on them, but I just say, when I look at them sometimes, man, this guy's kind of soft. This guy's kind of soft because I'm like, dude, you're making a big deal about, sometimes people complain here about ants. I'm like, dude, this is a tropical nation. There's a lot of ants here. Nothing you can do with ants. Just like it makes me smile sometimes. That the things I hear from people here. Colonel, still in Leyte. All right, Colonel. Good to know. Good to know. Who eats a burger with a knife and a fork anyway? Joe, every third drink out of the cup should be tanduay. To sanitize it. To sanitize it. Hey, one thing, Joe, with Filipinos, when they're drinking, sanitary, all that goes out the window. It's like the glass of beer, the tanduay, even the food, it'll be like a grilled fish. Everybody's picking from the fish. Kind of like a boodle fight with their hands. Like I said, I guess because they're drinking alcohol is going to kill all the bacteria. This, and it is. That's just the way it is here. And I know that could be intimidating if you've never seen that before. Like, it's like the sunshine on Gino and surprise light works for me. All right. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Jane K on the ferry. I know I saw them earlier. I joined the live stream a little bit before I had to start this live stream, Colonel. They were live streaming on the ship. Iloilo no more for eating rice or kamote? Probably rice. I mean, that's pretty much the whole Philippines. We eat kamote. Dazzle loves kamote. She'll boil kamote, but most of the time, Filipinos prefer rice than kamote. Good morning, brother. Good morning, Bernie. Good morning, my brother in Canada. Saskatchewan. But South Korea has gone a long way. I know, right? I was in Korea in the 80s, man. I got stationed there at Suwon Air Base. And from what I saw in the 80s, then I got a chance to go back right before I came to the Philippines 2011. Big transformation. They got rich. South Korea got rich with like Hyundai, Kia, and all that. They got rich. They built that. Suwon was just a rural farming town. When I saw Suwon again, it was like tall buildings, skyscrapers, condominiums. Has a robust, very robust subway system. Nothing after the Korean War. Last time I was at the I drank out of a toilet. right, Bernie. Think about that. Here's Bernie at the Atian is drinking from a toilet plunger. That could be intimidating for like, hey, I'm sure it's a brand new toilet plunger. It's just for effect, but still, right? You're gonna see stuff like that here in the Philippines, and that could be like, whoa, what's going on here? What's going on here? Let me see, Bond. There are a lot of things to improve in the Philippines, and that's one of the things that attracts me in the Philippines. Inday, all right, Che, that is Michael's partner. Good morning, thank you for joining the live stream, Che. Bernie, and I was the tricycle driver at home. Oh wow, you got to drive a tricycle, Bernie. That is so awesome, man. Nope, it was old as heck. Yeah, old as heck. All right. So a lot of things, when you come here, one of the things that people always complain, and I see it too. I'm not blind, but one thing I know about Calibo, they've done a good job. I mean, since the new mayors for a few years now, garbage. Depending when you are in the Philippines, especially a lot of times in the cities, unfortunately, areas in Manila, of course, areas in Cebu City, even Bacolod City, when I was in Bacolod City, there's just areas where you're gonna see piles of garbage. Will not surprise me during Ati-Atihan because with the thousands and thousands of people, no matter what the LGU, the local government, try to like haul all the garbage, truckloads of garbage, there's gonna be areas where I don't know how it happens because they're really strict about you just leaving garbage anywhere. But maybe in the middle of the night, I don't know. But you'll find like piles of garbage somewhere in Calibo because just the amount of people. I mean, we're like from the normal size of Calibo. Right now, we're talking 25x to 30x the amount of people in Calibo. I mean, yesterday Dazzle and I were eating at Virgie's and we saw like 5 busloads of Philippine National Police headed to Calibo. 5 busloads. They're all in uniform. They're all cops from different areas of Panay Island. So just an insane amount of people right now in Calibo. And Calibo's a little town. Calibo's not even a city. That's why it's so crowded right now. But part of the fun, but that's a lot of times you get a lot of complaints from people regarding garbage. Stray dogs, stray dogs, cities, pretty much anywhere you go. Even Boracay has a issue with stray dogs. There's just gonna be that, So for me, it's hard for me with stray dogs because Dazzle and I we're both dog lovers, so it's hard for us to see. Really, you see a lot of really scraggly dogs. They're like on their last legs. That's why we have in our car. We always have dog food in our car because I feel so bad with all the dogs that. I don't think it's ever going to change. There's just going to be a lot of stray dogs here, unfortunately. Yesterday, I touched about this a little bit. In the Philippines, depending on where you are, in the Philippines, city, province, it doesn't matter. There's going to be stuff in the Philippines that you will smell. That I'm really my sense of smell after my chemo treatments. It's like 4x or 5. I'm like super sensitive to smell now. I smell things more now, after my radiation and chemo. So now I really can smell. There's just smells here in the Philippines that you're gonna go like, man, that's some serious, because in the Philippines they still have open sewers here, and unfortunately in the Philippines there are rivers that, unfortunately all the sewage, everything just flows in the river and then flows to the ocean. That's just the way it is, It's like, what are you going to do with that? It's either you adjust to the smells, and not just the smells, the sound here in the Philippines. It has a tendency of being noisy here, especially if you're in the city. Even when you go to cafes where you're expecting it to be like quiet in the cafes, they're like pumping up like loud music. I mean, here you are having a nice cup of coffee, it's like maybe a croissant, and there's like boom, 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 boom music. But that's just the way it is. People in the Philippines, they like music. If I'm walking in Calibo and I'm shopping at the public market, if I'm shopping at the plaza area, if I'm walking, every other store, you're gonna hear booming music with loud bass. I think it's because they want to attract customers. I don't know, but even if I go to Foos, even if I go to Gaisano Mall, there's always blaring music in the background. So that's something you would have to adjust because it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop here. It's something that if you're noise sensitive, if you're smell sensitive, something to think about. Another thing is air. Air quality in Manila, I'm sure you've seen the statistics. Air quality in Manila, Metro Manila, is some of the poorest in Southeast Asia. It is what it is because like in Manila, you got like buses, you got jeepneys, you got like cars, diesel engines, that blow black smoke in the air. And with all that, 15, 16 million people living in that small confined space. Not a lot of trees anymore, a lot of buildings. It's a concrete jungle. If you're suffering from asthma or anything pulmonary or anything like that, definitely you don't want to live in Metro Manila. You need cleaner air. Find it here in the province. Find it here in the province. You'll have a cleaner air here. Because to me, there's always a place. There's always a place in the Philippines where you can find good places. A lot of the things I see a lot of times that I see online, these people aren't just researching. They're not finding information for themselves. They're like, they get on the plane, get here, see Manila, and then I'm getting out. Or the Manila's terrible. You have to do your research. You have to there's all kinds of nice places in the Philippines. Don't judge the Philippines based on your arrival in Manila or Cebu City or the big city here. There's plenty of nice areas here in the Philippines. Morning, Colonel. God bless from Lowell. Thanks, Lowell. James, South Korea is having a demographic collapse. At least Philippines. Yes, I've seen that. Same dynamic, James, that happened to Singapore. That nobody's having kids. Same thing. Nobody's getting married, and nobody's having kids. So they're having that problem. That problem of like their young population is dropping severely. Tap the thumbs up, folks. All right. Joe, if the Philippines was as developed as Korea and Japan, it would lose its character. And I like that. I like that, Joe, right? It will not be affordable, right? Like right now in Korea, if you go to South Korea now or Japan, definitely a lot cheaper here in the Philippines, right? If I decide to move to South Korea or Japan, I will not have the same lifestyle, live comfortably on my military pension. You don't hear many people with military pension like me moving to South Korea or Japan because they're get too developed now. Expensive to live in those areas. Tokyo or Seoul. If you can't find. I mean, I've seen people living in like closet-size apartments there, spending a lot of money on those apartments. Agree, Joe. Agree. Cities have city problems. Sad but true. Yes, I agree with that. Hard. For the cities, I think their challenge is to like, maintaining cleanliness, safety. That's a lot. That's the issues when cities grow too big. That's why I keep promoting. I keep saying Iloilo City, man. If you're looking for a city here in the Philippines, that's the best city in my opinion. It's like Iloilo just offers so much and very well run by the local government. You just got honest local government there. They're doing a great job. They're expanding, but it's not crazy expanding. They just opened that Sunset Boulevard. It connects Oton to like Iloilo now. 5 miles of like bicycle lane, walking, jogging lane, paved roads, cement roads, view of the water. Just they're doing things like that to make it more attractive for people to move to Iloilo City. OB, Filipinos are too honest sometimes, and they will describe how people look without meaning to offend. We can't be quick to get salty. There's a balance of sarcasm that you have to dish out when hanging out. Yeah, see here in the Philippines, as far as like if you're hanging out in a party, I'm always like when I get invited to like Filipino parties. Let me close the door there, man. The sun is like intense this morning. When I go to Filipino parties, a lot of times I just sit there and I just like smile, I listen, because I don't want to get into like any like dispute about it. I'm careful, especially when they're drinking, right? Filipinos sometimes I notice they can dish out, like sarcasm, jokes, and all that. But when it's hit towards them, all of a sudden they get defensive and get mad. So I just know I don't kid around. I don't kid around with Filipinos. When I'm hanging out with Filipinos, I'm careful. I'm careful with what I say because here, like OB is saying, there's no like political correctness. If when I'm hanging, maybe when the expat is hanging with Filipinos, maybe those Filipinos will be careful to say to expat because they want to offend the expat. But when it's all Filipino, man, it's anything goes, man. It's like there's no like filter. Well, there's no filter when you go to a Filipino party because people aren't easily offended. The conversation. There's no political correctness. I'll just leave it at that. And I'm sure OB knows about this. OB knows about this. Too much can offend Pinoys, especially the Pinays. Yeah, that's the thing, right? When I'm at the Filipino parties, I'm always just like observing and listening because one wrong word you say, all of a sudden can be misconstrued and somebody, thinks that you targeted them, and then that person's your enemy for the longest time now, and you might not even know that you offended them. Now they don't like you and they won't talk to you anymore. It's like I'm careful around Filipinos for sure. Loud bike with no muffler. Yeah, that's like horrible here. All right, that's another noise thing. It's common here in Numancia, common here in the province. The muffler and the motorbikes, they do something to it where it's loud, especially if they like gun it, you just like, it's just really obnoxious, but there's nothing they're doing about it. They say it's illegal, but you'll see that unfortunately. Gino, how long did it take you for you to adjust to the sights, sound, smell, cultural norms, and attitudes in the Philippines? For me, Vaughn, it was really easy because I picked a good spot. I think I picked like the perfect spot. I picked Boracay Island when I moved here. My first 18 months was Boracay Island. Boracay Island's peaceful, man. I mean, there were, when I got there in 2011, when I rode my mountain bike all over Boracay Island, you would, sometimes you would run into the locals there, like on the main road, there, you might run into like an alley where it's flooded. The alleys in Boracay, for some reason back then, and even now, some still gets flooded. You see things like that. But to me, it was just a easier transition because, man, I was living on White Beach, Boracay, man. I was living in paradise. I could not have anything to complain about because every morning when I got up to run, I'm running on White Beach, Boracay. I'm swimming out in the ocean. I'm eating my lunch, looking at White Beach, looking at the ocean every day. So for me, it was easy because I picked the location. And that's why I've mentioned it before. Location, location, location. If you pick a place where you're going to have a good time, like me, I've had fun in Boracay Island before, so I knew if I lived there, it's going to be an amazing time, right? It's like I enjoyed the daytime, the running on the beach. During the middle of the day from 10 a.m. to like sunset, most of the people in Boracay sleep. That's like the sleeping time, nap time after lunch. And then everybody comes out at sunset. You watch an amazing sunset. At the time, I was still drinking beer, drink a couple of draft beers. And then after you watch the sunset, eat dinner. And then if you want to, there was nightlife in Boracay. It's like very active, even today, very active nightlife. So that was kind of like the life that I wanted. And I experienced it for like 18 months. Made the transition easier for me. And then I was meeting locals in Boracay that had the same mindset as me. It's like my friends that worked at the Pirates Bar, the Boom Boom Bar, musicians. I met musicians there. They would like, they played music at night. That was their job. But in the morning, they're like at 8 or 9 in the morning, we would get together, ride our mountain bikes all over Boracay and the mainland. We would take our mountain bikes in the bangka. So it was easy, very easy for me. And I met people that were like-minded. Like I said, I met a lot of people that enjoy riding mountain bikes. And I learned a lot from them because, like, for me, I've never been around adults, like me being an adult. When I left the Philippines, I was 12. So I didn't know the dynamic as far, even though I'm Filipino, I didn't understand the Filipino culture here in the Philippines. In my first 18 months, the people, my friend JR, my friend Nash, they helped me. They helped me adjust to life back in the Philippines. Martin, my favorite noise is the evening loudspeaker with the rosary being broadcast from the chapel. Hey man, it's like to me, that's awesome, right? It's like with people still praying. It's like Joe, hi Colonel, are you having withdrawals from being away from rawhide? I know rawhide. The Colonel hasn't been riding rawhide, and don't judge the cover by the book. Thank you, Ted, right? You might see all these things, like people, a lot of times they will judge the Philippines based on what they see. But man, the bottom line, and for me, and Michael S. has mentioned this several times, man, the people here in the Philippines, they're some of the kindest people, some of the most welcoming people. They'll invite you to their house to eat dinner with them, and they just met you. Stuff like that happens here all the time in the Philippines. You're not going to meet a nicer group of people than the Filipinos. Unfortunately, there's people, foreigners, that judge them based on what they see with their eyes, right? They see a nipa hut, they see stray dogs running around. They just see a poor Filipino and they judge them by that. But you can't judge people like that, right? It's like some of the nicest people here are those people that live in those bamboo huts. Josh, good morning, everyone. Martin, God forgive me, but I do not treat Filipinos. Martin, they are only visitors. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're saying, Martin. I've seen some of that. Not just Koreans, unfortunately, other foreigners too sometimes here. If the Philippines was like Korea or Japan, I would not want to live here, right? Right, James? Philippines get criticized for so many things, that's why But when you think about it, it gets criticized for so many things. But people from all over the world, are moving here. Why is that? Why is Americans, Canadians, Australians, British, people from Japan, people from Korea, everybody wants to come here? Why is that? Why is that if they criticize the Philippines for so many things, why are so many people deciding to move here for good, live here the rest of their life here in the Philippines? I hear you, James. I hear you, James and Karen. Joe, I like the Koreans in my experience there, but they are very proud and judgmental. They look down on interracial marriages and despise mixed kids back in the 80s. And Joe, just my experience, like I lived in Korea and in Japan, and I saw a little bit about that too. How they want to keep marriages with Korean or Japan. If an interracial marriage, it's still frowned upon in their culture. Here in the Philippines, it isn't frowned upon. It's like any race here, you see so many. It's like Filipinos, like it's a mixed race now, and it's not a big deal here. You're not gonna see that here in the Philippines. I hear you, James. I would be the same. Joe, Korea is too expensive and I want to get away from snow. As I said, I loved it back then. Yeah. It has gotten expensive. Like I remember living there in the 80s. And then when I went back, I think it was like 2008, 2009. And I saw how expensive it had gotten because they grew, South Korea, just amazing growth from the 80s to like 2008, 2009. I was just like shocked over what I saw. It's like, it wasn't even the Korea that I knew. It wasn't the even Korea I knew before. I haven't met a Filipino that I worked with or associate with in Hawaii visiting my grandkids that I didn't like and enjoy meeting. And see, that's should tell you something, right, Joe? Even Filipinos, when we travel to other nations, like me, I lived in California, or you meet Filipinos all over the world, we just got that reputation for being good people, or friendly, hospitable. We carry that with us, That's why me, even though, I spent over 30 years in the U.S., when I came back to the Philippines, I think it's in my DNA. It's my DNA to be friendly. It's my DNA to be helpful because that's how I was raised here in the Philippines. So I carry that even to this day. All right, let me look at my notes, make sure I'm hitting all. All right, smog. Also, not for the weak, again, balut. Enough said, right? Balut. It's like, if you're brave enough to eat balut, man, balut is definitely not for the weak. And here in the Philippines, even like the critters here, it's like, it's hard to go anywhere here in the Philippines where you're not going to see a cockroach. And, I don't know, I know in the U.S., I've seen cockroaches in the U.S., but usually they're like bitty cockroach, right? Man, here the cockroaches here are big. Let me see. Let me just, so you can, if like this is the key to our motorbike. I've seen cockroach about this big, at least this long. And what's scary about these cockroach, man, they freaking fly. When you see a cockroach flying, it's funny. When you start seeing a cockroach flying in the air, people running, people are running away from the cockroach, man. They're so big. And then, of course, you got mosquitoes and flies. Flies is like, unfortunately, that's That's like a constant battle, like having flies around. A lot of the carinderias, when you got food, when you have carinderia, that's like carinderia is like those stalls where they serve food. People eat there. Again, people in carinderia, they eat with their hands. That's common here in the province anyway. Um, and flies. I know there's areas in the U.S. that I don't just remember having so much flies, and here that's a problem. That's a problem. Flies and mosquitoes, and then mosquitoes. Anytime there's mosquitoes, you got to be careful. Make sure you like put that mosquito repellent and all that, because here in the Philippines they got dengue fever here. A mosquito bite can put you in a hospital here. People have died from dengue fever here. It's a constant battle with dengue fever, with mosquitoes here. You got to be very careful. Don't ignore that for sure. If you're coming to the Philippines, bring mosquito repellent. There's just a time of the year where there's an overabundance of mosquitoes, and every single year here in the Philippines, there's a dengue epidemic. Even here in Aklan province, there's I can go Google it right now, and it'll be showing that there's a dengue epidemic somewhere here in Aklan province. So, those are the things. That's why I'm saying, Philippines is not for the weak. If you don't like cockroaches, if you don't like flies, if mosquitoes and dengue fever scare you, you're not gonna do well here, because those things are just gonna exist here. It's not never gonna be gone. It's hard to find places here where you won't have those critters, unfortunately. Let me go here, make sure I don't get too far here. I don't get too behind. I see Young Fresh there. All right. Jim, the PI isn't perfect, but it's closer than most from my point of view. Yes, Jim. And for me, like I love it here. That's why I've been here almost 15 years now. I'm not going anywhere. This is I'm happy and content here. Happy and content. I love it here. I don't look at the negatives. I don't look at the warts of the Philippines. I look at the positive. The positive for me outweighs all the things that I hear from people complaining about the Philippines. Happiest people in the world, no matter the circumstances. Amen. Amen, Ted, right? It's like the poorest of the poor people here, you can still see them smiling. Sometimes when they smile, they don't even have teeth, right? They don't even have teeth when they're smiling, but they just have a smile in their face. Vaughn, if you don't want balut, let me have it. Vaughn is a balut fan, man. But Vaughn, do you ever eat the street food there in the province? I no longer eat the street food, Young Fresh, because most of the street food here is fried, unfortunately. Fried fish, like bola fish, fried kwek, that's quail. Almost everything, all the street food here is fried, or even like the grilled ones, it would be like intestines and all that. I just don't eat it just because I've tried to like eliminate fried foods and unhealthy foods in my diet. I gotta watch my diet, man, because I'm still recovering from cancer. I tried doing it one time and my stomach was not happy. Yeah, especially street food and water. Very careful with water, Young Fresh, when you get here. Careful with using ice on your, because sometimes ice, you don't know if they use tap water in the ice. Especially if you're just new here to the Philippines, I wouldn't touch street food if you're new to the Philippines. Especially at least for the first month or two, your stomach is just not going to be used to that. It's like even me, like now when we go grocery shopping, we don't buy meat, any type of meat. We buy it the grocery in Calibo, frozen. Because I look at it when I go to the meat department at SM Cherry, or when I go to the meat department in Save More, I see the same arrangement that I remember in the US. Ground beef, it looks fresh. It's refrigerated, there's ice. Magnolia chicken is wrapped in plastic, dressed really nice. When you go to the public market, man, the meat at the public market, they can be scary. They can be scary. I know they slaughter those animals. I know they slaughter them the same day, and the same day they'll sell it. But your pork product, your beef product, your chicken product, they're just laying out there. There's no refrigeration, there's no ice, they're just like on top of a table, you know. And, you know, I have medical background, so I understand public health and all that. But seafood, we don't mind. Seafood, I know Dazzle, Mom, they buy seafood at the public market, and vegetables, of course, and fruits. But for meat items, I would, for me anyway, our choice, you know, just for our own safety, we buy it at the grocery at the SM Cherry and Save More in Calibo. Yeah, be careful. You know, even like when they fry food with the street food, it's not the most healthy. I think, just my opinion, just because the oil that they use to cook the chicken, cook the whatever they cook, it's the same oil. You can see like it's not clear oil, but you know, it's, you know, you look at the oil, not the healthiest thing, not the healthiest thing. I mean, Dazzle and Leanna, they eat it because they're young, man. I'm gonna be 60 years old, man. I gotta be careful about stuff like that, man. I always want to support the local vendors, but I need to take. Oh yeah, I wouldn't worry about supporting like that. You know, street vendors. They're making their money. The street vendors, the street food, they make decent money. They sell a lot of that stuff. Balut is my favorite, but it's better than shrimp paste. I don't eat balut either. I'm not a balut fan. Shrimp paste, because of my allergy to shellfish, now I gotta be careful with that also. This other vlogger, Asia Now, just reported an older man got sick and is being held in a hospital. He can't cover his bill. People should take your advice and don't come here if they are sick. Yeah, I've mentioned that before. You know, when I interview people, when they do a one-to-one video call to me, I'm always concerned about people's health. You know, if you have a lot of medical issues, you know, the Philippines is not for you. Just because the bill still here can creep up on you, unless you have, if you're really rich and you have money. But for me, you know, why would to move to a developed country? You want good hospitals, right? If you have a lot of illnesses. Joe, I'm enjoying Leyte. All right, Colonel. Young Fresh, my Filipina complains about mosquitoes all the time. I bought her a lot. Yes, good. Here in the province, you know, people even use the mosquito net to sleep at night. Mosquito net. We don't have a problem with mosquito in our gated community. We have like sliding screen doors. I got screen door on the front. I can't remember the last time I saw a mosquito in my house. And even outside, we don't have a lot of mosquitoes because the neighborhood, we know like to check, you know, standing water, things like that. You won't have the problem. But a lot of times when you live outside a gated community, like here in the province, here in Numancia, we still have open sewers here, where the sewers are just like open. You know, they're not underground, they're just on the side, and you can see stagnant water. You can see like bubbling in there. You can see that's where the mosquitoes are growing. That's common in the province. And like I said, dengue fever is a real deal here in the Philippines. I have a friend here that her, you know, a batchmate of ours at STI College Calibo. She graduated the same year. Her sister died from dengue fever. So I'll never take mosquitoes, never take dengue fever lightly. You don't want to catch dengue fever. It's not a fun thing. They gotta like get you blood, transfusion of the blood and all that. It's not a disease you want to catch here, dengue fever. Olson, food in general, how it's served and stored in the Philippines would not. Thank you. It won't pass. You know, like you know, OB knows. You know, OB was like a medical personnel in the military, like me. You know, it's like we were familiar with public health. I was on the decon team in the military, so I understand, man. They're not gonna pass. A lot of the standards here will not pass, like in the United States. I can just go to the public market right now and see that. And they got like, sometimes they got like a bag, a big garbage bag, right? A see-through bag, and chicken in there, just like all in there. No ice, just leaking like fluid, like dripping all over the public market. You know, you see stuff, and they'll just throw it in the table. That water from all that chicken just like spreading all over the table, on the floor. You know, not the most healthiest thing. Not the most. That's why I don't buy it. I don't buy any meats there in the public market. You don't really know how long. Yeah, that thing too, right? Hopefully the pork that's laying out, or the beef, hopefully they butchered that the same day, hopefully, but you never know, right? But you never. I know that the pigs here, I know the pigs, at least I know they get sold fast here. Filipinos like pork, man. If you slaughter a pig and sell it by the kilo at the public market, it's gonna go like that, especially now, because we have a shortage of hog racers, people that are raising pigs in our province, because they're afraid to raise pigs in the province here now because of African swine flu is the issue. You can have like a whole piggery with like 50 pigs, and one pig gets sick and it will kill all your pigs, you know. So that's a heavy investment, right? If you own a piggery and you lose all your pigs, and one pig is at least, shoot, you know, 10,000 pesos for a big hog. You know, you lose 50 of those, man. That's a big hit. You know, that's why lechon is expensive now, even here in our province. I cannot get lechon anymore here in the province. 800 to 1,000 pesos per kilo, because again, shortage of hogs here. Why YFGT? It's risky. Crapshoot eating street food. I know, right? I would stay away. I would stay away from street food, especially if you're just visiting the Philippines. You're asking for trouble. If I order her this mosquito zapper, yeah, that's good. They have those zappers, even like a tennis racket. Those are good. One time we had it, but now we don't have it because we don't have a problem with this mosquitoes in our house. Yeah, we use citronella. Citronella is the lotion that we use because it smells good. We don't use the off. Off is like the popular brand here, but it's kind of sticky and it doesn't smell good. We like using. You can buy citronella spray. It's becoming more popular. At Watson's, you can buy citronella. At Mercury Drug has citronella. Joe, someone was talking trash about Filipino eating with their hands. I asked them, how do you eat your French fries? So yeah. To me, it's a culture thing, right? Joe, Filipinos, man, most Filipinos, when you tell them, when a Filipino eats with their hands, they just eat better. The food tastes better. You know, it's like, especially at those unlimited rice, you know, like go to Mang Inasal, unlimited rice. They'll get like unlimited amount of rice. They put soy sauce. They put the chicken oil in there, and then the grilled chicken. Man, I've watched my classmates eat like 5-6 cups of rice, eating with like one piece of chicken, you know, with their hands. You know, just like it gets you going. It gets you eating good. The chicken was very good though, but yeah, it was messing up my stomach, man. I know, right? Right. Just be careful, you know, be careful. Even at the carinderia, if you decide to eat at the carinderia, Young Fresh, because if you notice in the carinderia, it's not like in the US where you'll have a metal tray, right? Or the heating element in buffets, it keeps the food hot or even warm at least, right? The carinderias here, they don't have that heating element a lot of times. A lot of times, they'll just have a tray and they'll put the tray. Some of them now have cover, at least it got glass cover. What I look for when I eat at the carinderia, I try to get there like right before the 12 or 1 p, you know, the lunch crowd. Get there around 10:30. You can still see the food being cooked in like big woks, and you see them pouring that big wok in those trays. That's what I get, because I can tell it's coming out heat, it's still warm, fresh, or they have these big containers of soup. When you open it, you can tell if steam comes out of there, it's still the hot soup. I would eat that. But if you open the container and it looks like coagulated a little bit, look like they call it sebo here, like it's not hot anymore. I would like lift it, close it, find something more fresh. I take my time, but I eat a carinderia. Dazzle and I eat a carinderia. Did you know that rice should not be left out 2 hours? I grew up 2-3 days before going to the fridge. I tell that to Dazzle and Mom all the time, Olsen, because they'll cook rice at night and they will leave it there. So in the morning they'll still eat it. For me, when I catch them do that, I'll put the rice in the fridge, because to me you can always reheat the rice, right? You can make fried rice, fried garlic rice with that. But that's a common thing with Filipinos, because heck, some people here in the province don't even have a fridge. So when they cook rice, and they cook a lot of rice, because rice is life here. It just stays in the container until it gets run out. So sometimes it might last a whole 24 hours. They often reuse the oil here. Yes, right. I told Mom that, because Mom keeps like a container here, like a glass container, and when she fries stuff, she puts it in that container. I told her never use that again, but she takes that and gives it away, like to the relatives in Katilan. But I told her, because I just want to, like I said, keep them all healthy, And we use olive oil. I know it's a little bit more expensive to use olive oil. I told them buy that instead of the other oils that they sell here. Good call on the ice. I think that messes me a lot. Thanks. All right, Young Fresh. Yeah, because those ice, you see them, they sell it like an ice block, like a whole block of ice, and they'll ice pick it and get chunks of it. You just never know what water they use there. Even if they use filtered water, right? Chances are they're probably just using tap water for that. And I would never drink tap water here. I've been here almost 15 years. I've never drank tap water here. I've always drank the filtered 5-gallon container water, or I buy bottled water at 7-Eleven. My older daughter got very ill from chicken intestines, not cleaned properly. Yes, right? Because, somebody's at the door here. Hello. Later na, kuya. I'll text later. Salamat, kuya. The guy was like asking for our drinking water. He always comes here and gets our empty, but I only have one empty right now. Yeah, I mean, because chicken intestines, when you think about it, you got to really clean that really good, and then probably cook it well too, right? Because chicken intestines, they'll either fry it or grill it. So if they don't cook it well done, there can be contaminants in there for sure. Can you get dengue vaccination near? I tried to get vax, but you know what? I'll have to check, Daniel. I'll have to check on dengue. I've never heard of a dengue vaccine. I've never heard of it, but I will check for you. Let me take a picture of that. That way I'll remember, because I'll forget if I don't take a picture of your question. But that's a serious problem here. Dengue fever is a serious problem in the Philippines. Every year, there's different parts of the Philippines has a dengue outbreak, unfortunately, because I guess once somebody gets sick with dengue, the mosquito transmit it, by biting the person infected, and then when they bite another person, they're passing dengue fever. Gino, don't forget about the small geckos that'll be in the ceilings and walls. It's advisable to seal around doors and windows to avoid insects from entering at home. Yeah, our screen keeps pretty much, I don't rarely see a gecko getting inside our house, or bugs even, because of all the screen door. We have 2 screen doors on our doors, screen windows. It prevents the critters from coming in. Once in a while, we'll see a gecko come in, but they seem to be harmless. But I know they poop, so you got to watch their poop, right? You don't want their poop getting anywhere in the house. And Leanna, she's afraid of those little geckos. She freaks out when she sees the little gecko. I got dengue last year. Not fun. Oh, sorry to hear that, Ted. I know, right, Ted? Dengue is not something to be joke around, because like people die from dengue, especially the kids and the elderly people. They're vulnerable for dengue. And transfusion, man, that's no joke when you need blood, right? Getting transferred to your body, man. Shrimp paste and kare-kare is the bomb. Yeah, that's the combination. That's the combination. Kare-kare is a Filipino dish with peanut butter sauce, vegetables, and meat. And then the paste, the bagoong, is like the shrimp paste. I have to be careful now, even with bagoong, because I have my immune system is weak. I got allergies to a lot, mostly shellfish, seafood. I think the only seafood I can eat now is really fish. I can't even eat I can't eat oysters anymore, mussels, squid, and crab. You name it, I can't eat it anymore, unfortunately. Some communities smoke their neighborhoods to repel mosquitoes. We did that one time here. It hasn't been done in a long time because we don't have the issue anymore. At one time, we had the issue with mosquitoes, and they did that smoking thing. For a few years now, we've not had an incident of dengue fever in our community, because I would know. Here in our community, we have a group chat, and our group chat always like anything happening in our community, it's posted there. If they saw a snake sometime, or if they saw anything that happens, it gets posted. So if somebody gets dengue fever in the community here, it'll get posted. Which is kind of nice. I like that. I like that our neighborhood, we're informing each other of possible things like that. Marites should be okay. Right? Marites, that's funny, Marites. Marites is kind of like, I guess, like the gossip. I don't know. I don't understand the whole Karen concept. I don't think Karen is like the angry person in the U.S., right? Marites is just a gossip, people gossiping, spreading rumors. Daniel, I am bringing a couple of Costco bottles of pink sauce. All right. The Pepto-Bismol. Good. Bring that, Daniel. Whatever you're used to taking in the U.S., bring that, because you might not find it here. They'll have a different brand here, like Maalox, Maalox is popular here. Imodium is popular here, but I've not seen a lot of Pepto-Bismol here. In all my travels around the world, the only place I got sick from water or food was France. That includes street food in Afghanistan. Only France made me sick. Yeah, you just never know, right? Because when you get sick, like when I first got to Boracay, I didn't really know what did it, because I was watching myself. I knew about the ice, I knew about the bottled water, but I still got sick. I don't know. Maybe it's just part of when you go to a new area, the contaminants, the environment, maybe just the new environment. Like and subscribe from Fortune. Thank you, Fortune. Miss Universe, Gloria Diaz, very popular, right? I remember when Gloria Diaz won Miss Universe, was asked after her win about Pinoys eating with their hands. She replied, "Why do you eat with your feet? Why do you eat with your feet?" Chaffing dish. Edgar. Hey, good morning, Edgar. Daniel, I brought the pink stuff. I still haven't ever opened it. All right. Good deal, Edgar. You haven't had a need for it. LOL. Eating street food give a new meaning to run, Forrest, run. Good AM, Edgar. What up, Edgar? For excess rice, put in fridge, then make. Yeah, that's what I told Dazzle and Mom. Yeah, make a garlic fried rice with it. That way, at least if there's anything that grew or whatever when it's in the fridge, and it cooks better. Actually, rice when it's in the fridge, it hardens a little bit. So when you cook it, make it fried rice. Good texture. I prefer that texture. Edgar and Daniel will be the next Dynamic duo. All right. Dynamic duo. Gold now, wow, that is high for gold. Man, I can remember when it was half of that. I can remember when gold was half that price. And exactly. Hello, Fortune. Fried rice is great when the rich were frozen. Edgar, got a list of Costco stuff before I fly. Pink stuff. Good morning, OB and Fortune from Edgar. Joe, refrigerated rice becomes resistant starch and you don't get as big of sugar spike eating that rice. Health, oh, nice. I did not know that, Joe. Thank you. Thank you for that information. I like the garlic fried rice. The more garlic, the better. You know, like for me, the more, and we use olive oil to like cook the rice and the garlic. I really like it, but I don't eat it often. You know, so I eat more a lot more fiber. My whole wheat, my whole oats. I eat that a lot, and my granola cereal is what I eat here. The only street food they will let me eat is balut. No other food or drinks. All right, Edgar, that's good. That's good though, man. Since you don't have any stomach problems, right? Because you avoided the street food and the drinks. And that's the other thing. Be careful with the drinks because here, it's so tempting here. Like the street food, we'll have street food, and there's going to be a vendor there that sells like coconut water, and it's milky looking because they mix milk and coconut water, but again, they put ice, so you got to be careful with that. They'll make lemonade, but again, the ice. You know, on a hot day, you know, when you're standing at sunset, that cold drink looks so inviting. But man, the ice is what I would worry because they might be using tap water for their ice. Slowly try the balls, Edgar. Fish balls, squid balls, shrimp balls, etc. Hey, well, if Edgar tried the balut, maybe the kwek-kwek. You know, kwek-kwek is like hard-boiled egg that they fry, or quail egg, the quail egg that they fry. But again, the oil is what worries me because, you know, they keep reusing the oil. When they fry the kwek-kwek, the fish ball, the squid ball, you name it. You know, they're using the same oil, you know, day after day after day. So that would worry me a little bit. Not the most healthiest thing, I think. Hey Edgar, no Adidas. No Adidas. Adidas is like the chicken feet, the feet. It's the actual chicken feet that Adidas. I guess they call it Adidas because the chicken's got like 3. You know, Adidas is like the symbol. Adidas is like 3. Chicken heads. I've never eaten. I've eaten chicken feet, but I've never eaten chicken head. I've never eaten chicken head. We can have a balut day once. I am there. All right. Arrest. Vaughn. Oh, Adidas. Yummy. Yeah, but I like it when it's really cooked. The Adidas, the chicken feet. I like it at Chinese restaurants, actually. They make it the best, I think, because they overcook it, like steam it or boil it or something. And it's almost like really soft, like and then they put like their Chinese sweet and sour sauce or barbecue sauce on it. The ones on the street food, I've never tried that. I've never tried the Adidas on the street food. Would you have ice on your drinks at Jollibee and McDonald's? For me, yeah, I would. You know, and I have, you know, from Jollibee and McDonald's, just because I trust them better. I would, you know, maybe it's my assumption. But I haven't gotten sick from Jollibee or McDonald's here. OB, no kwek-kwek, Edgar. I love the fish balls. All right. I wanted the fish balls, but they really don't trust it. She even cooks the balut here. J-Boy, those places are safe. Are you in Malay Aklan? How much is 1-bedroom apartment there? Leo, I'm not in Malay. I'm in Numancia Aklan. But a one bedroom in Malay, it depends. I mean, you know, if it's furnished, if it's unfurnished. My friend, I got him a studio apartment by Tabon Port in Katiklan. And I got it. A furnished studio was 8,000 pesos. But again, there's the price range. It varies on how modern the place is. If it's furnished, unfurnished. Usually for a one bedroom, you will not pay more than 10,000 pesos a month. For one, if you're paying more than 10,000 pesos or $180 in Malay, then it's probably like a apartment condo with a swimming pool with a view of the ocean. But typical, because people can't really, the locals, if you're looking for more local accommodations, usually 10,000 pesos, $180, that should find you a one bedroom apartment in Malay Aklan. J Boy, thanks Ted, no problem. J Boy, with me, it's spicy hot food that I can't eat anymore. After all, the VA meds. Oh, okay. I can still handle spicy, but not as spicy as I used to like. I used to love everything spicy, man. I'm a big, but I can still handle a little bit. So I'm glad I started. I still have a problem with dry mouth. That's why I'm always sipping water. Always. It's the radiation on my neck. I still have dry mouth. I think I'll live with it the rest of my life now, unfortunately. But at least I got my taste buds back. It took like almost 2 years to get my taste buds back. And I can taste spicy food again. Just pick the vendor, Edgar. There are those who wear gloves and or apron. You see, I noticed that, Fortune, like in the Manila area, they're more particular. I've noticed that, a single individual cup, sticks, and all that. Unfortunately, here in the province, and they're not like that here, man. It's like they're old school. They're old school here in Aklan province when it comes to street food, man. I don't see many people wearing gloves and all that in the province, man. Silver is over 85 per ounce. All right, and Fortune. Chicken head is called helmet. Yeah. There's like helmet, Betamax, right? Betamax, the liver, I think, Betamax. Chicken feet is Adidas. Betamax, there you go. Walkman, they got cool names for these street foods, man. I like binatog. Yeah, I love binatog. I have not seen binatog though. Binatog is white corn. And they put white corn with shredded coconut. I have not seen binatog, and never here in Aklan province, unfortunately, because I do remember I like binatog. See you in Boracay in a few days, Sean. I had not planned on going to Boracay in a few days, but I don't know when you're gonna be there, Sean. I know I'll be there like middle of February. There's a few people that wants to meet with me in Boracay middle of February, like Valentine's Day, around Valentine's. My good friend Michael C here from Trece Martires, him and Rose will be in Boracay. There's a few people, but I had not planned on going in a few days because I'm busy here with Atiatihan, brother. It's like it's Atiatihan time in Calibo until Sunday at least, the next few days. So I hadn't planned on going to Boracay. Joe, it's an age thing with spicy. I still eat spicy things, but my spicy is... Oh, maybe, right? Maybe, because I'm the same, man. I love spicy food before. I still love it, but I just can't handle the serious heat like I did before. Man, jalapeno poppers was just like a snack for me. It was like nothing. Jalapenos were nothing for me. But now I can feel it. I can feel when I eat that. All right, I'm still gonna try to hit my topics because I'm not finished. There's still items on my list here. I've talked about the mosquitoes, dengue. Oh, restrooms. This is a big topic because you get a lot of comments about restroom. CR in the Philippines, comfort room is what it's called here in the Philippines. The cleanliness. Unfortunately, there's not many clean comfort room or restrooms that you will find in the Philippines. Even here in Calibo, I I think at Pastrana Park, the entire area of Pastrana Park, there's like at the behind the stage, there's like a CR there. It ain't the cleanest either, and they charge you. They charge you like 10 pesos. It's funny because before they used to charge you 10 pesos, or I think now they're charging you 10 and 10, but before it was funny because they used to charge you 5 pesos if you're peeing and 10 pesos if you're pooping. So that was kind of funny. But now I showed that to JP the other day. Now it's like 10 and 10. It doesn't matter what you do in the restroom, they charge you 10 pesos for using the restroom. Restrooms, I'm gonna talk about restrooms here. For the most part, very difficult to find a clean restroom, unfortunately. A lot of times the restroom won't have soap. Like after you do, usually you want to soap your hands. A lot of times you won't see paper towels to dry your hands. Some now you see with those air dryers at the mall, sometimes you see that. But a lot of times the air dryers, they're not plugged in or they're broken. They don't work. Toilet paper. Like if you gotta use the bathroom, toilet paper, chances are, I would say 9 times out of 10, there's not gonna be toilet paper. So bring your own, us we always have baby wipe. There's even baby wipes now where you can flush it in the toilet. Flushable baby wipes. We use baby wipes and alcohol because again, I'm immunocompromised. I gotta be careful. I'm always cleaning my hands with alcohol, wiping my hands with the baby wipe, and always carry that with you. Don't expect soap, paper towel, or toilet paper in the restrooms in the Philippines. Maybe in Manila, in the big city, maybe better, but even if you go to Jollibee, even McDonald's, it just depends on their crew. Hard to find clean restrooms here. I know a lot of people struggle with that. And then also, no toilet seat. That's a common thing here. You'll go to like a restroom, especially a Filipino style restaurant, Filipino restroom, and there's no toilet seat. You'll see that, just a heads up, and then a lot of times, most restrooms here, even sometimes at hotels, not the nicer hotels, but like the Filipino bargain hotels or something, you'll just have a bucket and a tabo. I think everybody knows what a tabo is. I'll show you what a tabo is. This is a tabo. I think every Filipino home has one of these. It's got a handle. Every Filipino home's got a bucket. I mean, we pretty much clean a lot of ourselves, shower with this tabo. It's a popular thing here in the Philippines. And you will see this sometimes in a public restroom. But now they're getting fancy. Sometimes you'll if you're lucky, they got the bum water, like this, you can spray yourself. But a lot of times it's still the old school tabo is what you'll see here in the Philippines. And that could, some people, it's like don't like that or have a hard time adjusting to that, finding a good restroom here in the Philippines. When you go to the beaches here, in the Philippines, even Boracay Island, White Beach, Boracay, I have not seen a restroom. There is no restroom on. Imagine Boracay Front Beach, White Beach, 4-kilometer distance. There's no restroom, no public restroom, no public shower. The only time you're going to be able to use is usually the McDonald's, the KFC, the restaurants. If you're eating there, they'll allow you to use the restroom. I've not seen a single. You're out swimming in the ocean. You want to take a shower, right? Rinse off. I've not seen a single public shower in. That was common when I lived in Long Beach. When we used to surf. We had restrooms on the beach. We have showers on the beach. Even Boracay doesn't have that, and most of the beaches in Aklan Province will not have a restroom or shower. So. I just want to let you know that way it doesn't shock you when you go to these places and you go like, where's the restroom at? And then the last thing, with the food, another thing with the food here in the Philippines, when they cook fish, I know, like me, I'm used to fish when I was in America. When you eat fish, it's like fish and chips, like fillet of fish. Here in the Philippines, when you go to Carinderia or most restaurant, they cook the whole fish, head, tail. It's the whole fish that even if they cut it up in a soup, you'll see fish head, and that could be intimidating. I know that could be intimidating for some people. Edgar, I saw last night on Facebook the lots and houses are for sale again in your neighborhood. They even have filled the pool. All right, man, let's go, man. I want our swimming pool back. I want our swimming pool back, Edgar. I'm hoping by March, when summer kicks in here, that we have our swimming pool back. Things are improving in our community again, Edgar. Our new HOA, very promising, very promising. They're doing a lot of improvements, painting, repairing things. I'm liking what I'm seeing. This new group of HOA directors are awesome. We have in Bacoor a guy on a bicycle with a clang clang. Oh, what's a clang clang? Man, I've never heard of it. Clang clang. So once you hear it, oh, binatog, binatog. Yeah, yeah. I remember binatog. That clang clang was like a metal ring, right? And then it's a metal like stick, and they bang it. Clang clang clang. That's what I remember. Binatog too. My 15 years here in Aklan, I've never seen binatog here, unfortunately. I love that. I love that binatog too. Joe, I love eating chicken liver and hearts. Me too. I'm a chicken liver, chicken heart, chicken gizzards. I love all that in the U.S. I will have to see if there are clean street vendors to try street version here. Me, I just cook it at home. I add it in adobo. When we make chicken adobo, I usually include liver and hearts with that, and gizzards when we cook that fried chicken, the magnolia, and then I buy the same. They usually sell it by the dressed chicken at SM Cherry. Right next to it, they'll have gizzards, they'll have liver and hearts. I buy them all, and then when we make adobo, it adds another texture. That's why it's not just white chicken. It's not just dark or white meat chicken. Sir, good morning, Gino, John Vasquez, John V. All right, good morning. Good AM, John V. The number 1 and number 2 CR rule. Number 1, no? Right? It's like, I laughed at the first time I saw that Fortune in Calibo, that public restroom. It says, number 1, that price number 2. So if you're paying this amount, they know what you're doing in there. They know what you're doing. It's not a secret what you're doing in there. Hi, Fortune. Good morning. Edgar, the CR reminds me of a haunted house from USA in Halloween time here. Senor, are you doing 1 or 2? Are you doing 1 or 2? Only do number 2 at the apartment. All right, only number 2. I cannot blame you. I'm the same. I would not, only at the house. I would not do it at Dazzle's even funny because if that happens to Dazzle when we're out and about, she'll go, babe, we gotta get home. We gotta get home. Why? What's going on? Okay, all right, we're going home. We're driving home. It's like she's the same way. She doesn't want to do that on public. So when using, make sure you have tissue paper, wipes, then pocket. Yes, definitely. Always bring them. That's why I have my fanny pack. I always keep my GoPro there, my iPhone, and then I have I have mask in there, alcohol, and wipes on my fanny pack. That's why I carry it. You see me on all my pictures, I always have a fanny pack. Right, Michael S. Bidet. Yeah, that's becoming popular. The spray, that's becoming popular. You're seeing more and more of that. We have that. We have that in our CR. I had one installed. No doubt, Fortune. Sir, good morning, Daniel from JG. Morning, John. OB, the cleaning ladies don't care if people are using the CR either. They will clean. Oh yeah, good call. Also good call because that will happen, and that will happen if I'm at Calibo Mall, City Mall, or I'm Garangay Sano, you men's room, right? The men's room. you're in the men's room, and the cleaning ladies, they'll be mopping while guys are peeing. It's like, they don't, like, in the US, they would put a sign outside, temporary out of service, and they'll clean the restroom. Here, the cleaning ladies will be mopping the floor while guys are peeing. It's just a good call, Olsen. That could be something like you're going like, what the heck's going on? There's a woman in the bathroom here. Sir Castaway Drift, good morning. Hey, Castaway. I've seen G-Boy in here somewhere also. All right, good morning. Hey, Belus, my brother in Leyte. Good morning, Gino. Oh, well, I am spent. Great time. Oh, I bet. I seen you guys. I even saw you, Belus, in the motorbike, man. I was like, I've never seen you on the motorbike. You said like it's been years that you got riding a motorbike. That's so awesome. I know you're tired. I saw you on your little truck, the Japanese style truck, all with the colonel standing in the back. Man, that's so cool. Great times, definitely great times. Morning, Balloons. Make sure you know how to separate the bones. Also, chicken meats abroad are likely boneless. Yeah, the thing here, that's the thing. When you're eating, like, when you order chicken adobo here, it doesn't matter where you order chicken adobo, it could be a restaurant. The thing about the Philippines, you can buy a whole chicken, like Magnolia chicken is what I buy. It's dressed, it's packaged, it's got the Magnolia brand. That's always what I buy. But if you can buy the chicken and tell them to cut it. They don't cut it like in the US where you get a whole leg quarter, you get the breast. Here, man, they butcher that chicken, man. They take the chicken and just chopping it. There's like itty bitty pieces of chicken all over when you get it. That's why, we prefer to cut our own chicken in the house. Get the Magnolia chicken and cut it, because when you're eating here, when you order like chicken adobo, be careful about the bones. You're almost eating it like when you eat fish. How when you eat fish, you're careful not to eat the bones of the fish. Same thing here when you eat at a restaurant, when you're eating chicken. There could be like little pieces of bones in there with the chicken. So you got to be careful. Thank you, Fortune, for that tip. That's why you want to eat with your hands, because you're like looking for those pieces. You don't want to be like eating and then bite into like a bone or swallow it. That wouldn't be good, to swallow a chicken bone. Because they just chop that chicken, and it's like when you order it, it's like amazing how much little itty bitty pieces of bones on the chicken even. Right, Gino, on the clang clang. Chi and I can eat 2 or me too. I wish. One day I wish I can eat. I would eat that binatog. I love that food. Good AM, Balloons from Fortune. Right, OB. In our office, the cleaning ladies come in while you're peeing, but they don't look. Yeah, they don't look. It's not like they're looking. They look down. They're mopping. They're doing their job while they will just say "excuse me" and do their thing. Yes. Sir, good morning, Balloons from John V. Salute. Slept way in. All right. Get plenty of rest, man. Like me, man. After this live stream, I'm just gonna rest the rest of the day. I'm gonna meet JP around 1 p.m. at Pastrana Park. So I'll make sure I get rest this morning. Southern Cal. Restrooms, showers, and beaches attract the homeless population like they do in Santa Monica Beach, Venice, and Waikiki. Yeah, I have seen videos of that. Even back in the 80s when I would use the homeless, unfortunately. I remember in Long Beach, in tunnels even, they would live in the tunnels and they would shower on the beach. I'm with you in Dazzle. No, at home only. There is a dengue fever vaccine, CYD. Oh, Dengvaxia. All right, I'll have to check that out now, Derek. I'm gonna see if that's available here. I've never had it. I'm actually, I don't know if I can still get vaccines now because again, I'm immunocompromised. I would have to ask my oncologist if I'm still able, if I can find that. But so far I'm good because like we got screen here. I rarely see mosquitoes here, and we have citronella. So we're always like, we rarely go out at night anyway. Most mosquitoes here in the Philippines, they come out at night. So if we do go out at night, we all wear, I make sure Leanne, I make sure Dazzle has citronella on them. LOL, Edgar, I developed the habit of waking up early and then that usually will already, yeah, same thing with me, Fortune. I guess that's why I wake up early. I do all my business like really early before I get on the live stream here. I'm all good. Don't we all have coworkers whose first agenda? That's funny. That's funny, Southern Calvin. Come to think of it, I do remember we had an employee at work that would used to do that. Oh yeah, Belusa's amazing host for James and Karen, the Colonel, for sure, for sure. Charlotte, think good, said hi. Morning, Castaway from J Boy. Hey, oh boy, oh boy, J Boy. Hey, all right. Good AM, Belus. Good J&K got their ferry. LPA is coming this week on Friday, I think. Yeah, I saw Westpacs. I watched Westpacs earlier. There, it's still, everything's still possible. He said it might even take a north trajectory, but it hasn't been announced by Pag-asa. Pag-asa hasn't mentioned, but they've been saying it for the past week, since last week, that I thought it was actually going to be tomorrow, Wednesday, but now everything's being pushed back. But it's not going to be typhoon. It's that I saw from Westpac today. They're not expecting it to be the first typhoon of the year. All a low pressure area that will cause rain. But we got rain now. We got rain now. So at least it's not a typhoon. It's not going to be the first typhoon to hit the Philippines in 2026. The name is, or they already have a list of names for typhoon. It's going to be Ada. Or Ada will be the first, but no indication yet when that will be, when the first typhoon will hit. How's JP? But he's doing good. His tummy's good. Actually, I will not be surprised if JP's out on the road this morning, because he told me yesterday he was gonna ride his motorbike away from Calibo. So I don't know how far he'll get going outside Calibo, but I'll find out today, because I'm gonna go take him to the Sadsad this afternoon at 1 p.m. Our college, STI College Calibo, will be part of the parade, and then at 3 p.m. I'm gonna go do Sadsad with the Cipriano building. So I'll take JP to both. So he can experience Sadsad for the first time. Fortune, the first 5 typhoon names are Ada. Yeah, Ada. I saw that. Bastian, Kaloy. I have the list too. Thank you, though, Fortune. But I did saw that Ada was gonna be the first. Doming. Oh, Doming. That's my cousin's. My cousin's nickname is Doming. He's gonna like that, man. I want to have to message him now. My kuya Doming. Doming is his like nickname. You know anyone? Yeah, Doming. I know Doming. My cousin in Bulacan. Yeah, that's my kuya Doming. I'll have to message him. He's gonna like that. No typhoon, but looks like big rain. Yeah, no typhoon. That's what Westpacs mentioned also. John Sargent, Charlotte, my ate. No, you're okay. Must have been like daughter. All right. I was like daughter. All right, nice. Liana, so she knows Liana. Hopefully, Doming typhoon not strong, so it won't get retired. Edgar, traffic is fun here this week. Don't be, I know, right? That's what I was mentioning that, Edgar. That's why even today when I go to Calibo, I'm just gonna ride public transportation. There's jeepneys and tricycles that come here by Camille Aclan. It will take me all the way to the bridge. And then from the bridge, I'll probably just walk, right? It can drop me off right after, once the end of the bridge in Calibo. And then from there, I can just walk. I'm not driving my car to Calibo or even Bumblebee because it's so hard to find parking. And then and the traffic, even on Bumblebee, I can get stuck in traffic, and I don't want to waste like 30 minutes to an hour just to find a parking space. I'm just going to use public transportation to go to Calibo. Good morning, hey, Michael W. in Masbate. Good morning. Good day, Michael White, Jukanu. Hi, Michael White. Got to go. I have a meet. All right, thank you, Master Yoda Fortune, for joining the live stream this morning. I'm close to ending the live stream anyway. We're like at the 2-hour mark now. Thank you everyone for joining the live stream. Have a great meeting, Fortune. All right, have a great meeting. Later, Fortune. God bless. And I think I covered our topic for the day. I went through all my notes. I'm good. I hit all the topics that I wanted to. And those are some of the things that I often see people mention about the Philippines. Like I said, there's a lot of things that you have to adjust if you come to the Philippines, but I think it's still worth it. It's worth the adjustment, again, because you're not going to find better people than the Filipinos here in the Philippines. They're just good, kind people here in the province, very simple. If you're tired of that, keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing, you won't see that here in Aklan province. I mean, you can see it in my videos. People here, they're happy with like the smallest things in life. It's like, when I was in the U.S., part of my time was in California. And even in California, even the Filipinos in California, it just felt like it's always about how big your house is, how your car, what car you drive, what work you do, money. See, here in the province, it's just not like that. You meet so many genuine people here that will be happy to talk to you, and they're proud that they're a farmer. They're proud that they're a fisherman. They're proud that they're a tricycle driver. They're not ashamed because it's honest living. They're not robbing anybody, so why would they feel ashamed? It's honest, hardworking people. You're gonna meet that. You're gonna meet that here in the Philippines. Later, Fortune. God bless. Important CR topic, Gino. Important CR. Yeah, I just mentioned that earlier. Like I said, that's a lot of, you get a lot of complaints from people, especially foreigners, when they come here. It's a problem, right? It's a problem with the comfort room, the restrooms, not just public restroom at the ferry turn. I mean, it's just an issue. Yeah. They just don't do a good job of maintaining it, keeping it hygienic, keeping it clean. But again, it is what it is. It's not, it's one of those things that you would have to adjust. You can complain, you can say bad things about it, but it's not going to change. It's always been like that here, unfortunately. If everything in the Philippines was like the West, then it would be as expensive and have the same issues. We want a change in our lives, even if there has to be some. Yeah, I think, like I said, Joe, for me, it's worth it. The Philippines, with all the warts, I'll call it warts, with all the things that you see here, that for me, it's still worth it to come to live here, because again, it's the people that make a difference here. You just meet some good people here, honest, hardworking, kind people, and people still talk to each other. There's not a division among the people here. Even though there's politics here. I hear that Marcos Duterte, but they don't get into out and out fights about, on social media even. You don't see that. Maybe during election time it heightens, but after election time, everybody's friends again. Everybody's friends again. Everybody gets along again. All right, I'm going to end the live stream right here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the live stream this morning. I appreciate everybody time. Thank you, and everyone, take care, and everyone, stay blessed, stay blessed. Simpler life for a relaxed retirement. Amen, amen, my brother. All right, take care, everyone.